Andre, and this is Osteo, where I occasionally talk about yarn, fiber, and whatever other crafty shit I'm up to. It's definitely been a while. The semester kind of hit with a whirlwind, and you can probably still hear it in my voice. I got really sick by the end of September, and I'm still recovering from it. So yeah, that's why I disappeared. Partly also because I don't want to edit all the freaking coughing I'm gonna do out of this. I'm still coughing a bit, but it's not too bad. I don't remember what's happened, at least like crafting wise, in the last few months. So I'm just gonna get into it and talk about what I remember. Number one, I am wearing my black bat cardigan, which of course, black on black in a dark room thanks to the gloomy weather is really great. But here showing the details, the lace details we've got here. There's the lace details on the button placket. It fits so comfortably. Can we see? Yeah, we can see the twisted rib detail. Beautiful, beautiful pattern written by Ariana Frasca. I don't think it's been released yet, but it should be released soon. I knit this out of Osteo merino alpaca yarn in black, or maybe it was called coal. Doesn't matter anyways because the yarn has been discontinued. If you do want to find it, you'll have to deep dive into discount bins and fight me for it because I love this yarn. It is a little bit shoddy, I do have to say that. Especially with a cardigan, I have to be careful if I'm wearing a sleeveless dress. Underneath, I'm going to have black armpits with little fuzz stuck to it, but it is beautifully soft. It is so comfortable. It knits beautifully. I am seeing a little bit of pilling, but that might just be the alpaca fluff sort of working its way out right now, or it could just also be that I've been living in this cardigan. But yes, that is a big finished object from the last, I don't know, whatever. Time is an illusion. But the last couple of weeks, last month, I don't even know. Other things I finished. Finally, my scrappy book shawl is all done. The entire I-cord. It blocked nicely. It is a good size for kind of flinging over your shoulders in a cold office, such as this one. And it's quite fun. Also, I spent the month of October trying to get myself to finish my sock whips. I did finish a pair. If you follow the channel, you have seen these before. So these are the Manderley socks by Kate Poe. So there's a cute little sort of star stitch detail here. Can I adjust so you can see it better? There we go. Also a picot trim cuff. I believe the pattern had a shorty length. Maybe I made them shorty length. I don't remember. I just made the second socks to match the first one. But this pair is done. So right now I'm down to 3 sock whips, and I'll show in a bit I'm working on one of those. But that's not really what I'm focusing on this month. I have another finished project. These are also full of hair because I've been wearing them and I had shoved them in my pocket the other day. But these are a pattern from the Stitch and Witch that is actually set to be released today, which is Friday, November 7th. So whenever you see this, you will be able to go get them yourself. So they are the Down the Rabbit Hole fingerless mitts. So nice sort of lacy fingerless mitt that are still quite warm. They're made using fingering weight yarn. I used hand spun that was made by my cousin. You get the idea. There's lots of stellina in here, so lots of sparkle. This nice lace design that was pretty easy to follow along. It's also pretty forgiving if you make a mistake here or there, and an afterthought pickup for the thumb hole. Jen, the Stitch and Witch, I've tested quite a few of her patterns. She has such unique takes on things, and I know she loves lace, but I'm always so excited to see what she cooks up because it's always so different. This perhaps is not quite as out there as some of her designs. It's certainly something that's accessible. It's great for using up some scraps or something that you don't necessarily know how to include or how to use up. But it was fun playing with hand spun in this. So even with kind of the not necessarily consistent nature of hand spun yarn, this showed up great. A lot of testers used variegated yarn that also turned out really, really great that you don't necessarily expect with lace. So if you're looking for a nice quick knit, check it out. Those are at least the finished knits that I remember. There is a lot of spinning. Yeah, there's a lot of spinning. Let's start with, I've talked about this yarn at multiple occasions. I've shown it at various stages. So over a year ago, I had started spinning these bats of alpaca that came from a local farm. The alpaca itself, her name is Star. I had, I believe, 500 grams of fiber to start with. And over Tour de Fleece, I spun quite a bit of it. And I am done that spinning project. This was something that I kind of pushed myself to finish up because, like, hindsight being 2020, I probably should have washed the fiber bats before I started spinning them, but I was a new spinner and I just went for it. So because the fiber was so dirty, I tried to spin most of it outdoors, including plying. Anyways, it's done. Here is the beautiful chunky alpaca in her natural colors. Even after I had spun and plied it, it took, I think, 7 baths for it to run clean. So it was very dirty. But now it's all nice and clean. It's so soft. It is very nice and squishy. there are differences in the texture. There are some points where you see kind of the naturalness of the fiber coming through. I'm thinking this is going to be some sort of scarf or very long cowl, because the differences in texture, and because I really want to exhibit the natural colors and the natural texture of the alpaca. And alpaca doesn't tend to have a lot of memory, so you wouldn't want it like straight alpaca for a garment. It'll become kind of loosey-goosey after a while. So yeah, I think a scarf would be really nice. It's so soft. Okay. Other spins. I had previously shown this one. This is from the Fiber Goddess Summer Solstice box. I am not remembering what every single color was called. I believe this was Morning After. Anyways, I've spun up the other two braids from that box. Again, if I'm remembering correctly, this is After the Storm Breaks. Try to fix that color. After the Storm Breaks, and this is Summer Storms, maybe. Anyways, I spun each braid separately just because I wanted to preserve this lovely gradient that I created. So this has the more kind of, the colors are terrible. Okay. The kind of like soft, peachy pastel colors. Actually, there's a bit of peach in there. This one maintains that purple and the pink, but also brings in this lovely blue. And then this is really that blue pulled out with a bit of gray. I love this color. I'm not really a pastel person. I still really enjoy these, but this is my favorite. Anyways, I spun them all up 2-ply. They're sort of a sport weight. I would very much like to use these all together. I'm not sure if perhaps this would be a contrast with these, or maybe I want to bring in like a navy blue and have these as sort of this shift in contrast. I make all of these plans for my hand spun, but I've only finished one hand spun project working on that. I already have such a huge yarn stash. Adding to it with hand spun fiber maybe isn't the best thing, but spinning is good for my mental health, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Two more hand spun skeins. Both of these very different. These were both spun on my supported spindles. This fun, wacky neon that's really blowing out here. What a contrast to like this environment. It almost looks like it glows in the dark. It doesn't. So this was done on my first supported spindle, the one I got from Top of the Whirl. And it was a mystery fiber from my Chaotic Fibers mystery box. I think it was a superwash merino. Anyways, it's so bright. I struggled a little bit with this. I was trying to spin it as I would on a wheel normally, but I had to switch to spinning from the fold. Then it went a lot better. This So I spun this on one of my new Crivelli spindles, and this is fiber Rolex that were from Top of the World, and it is merino, stellina or angelica, mohair, and alpaca. And the mohair was still in lock form, and I really tried to embrace the texture when I would come across those locks. So there's some really cool spots like this one here, where you can see the little curls of the locks. Very much tried to embrace like the texture and just have fun with it. So this was 2 sets of Rolex, both in shades of purple, plied with each other for this just crazy, sparkly, purple textured fun. Yeah. I'm of course still spinning. I started a new spin on my e-spinner using this lovely bat that I had picked up at the Muskoka Fiber Fest by Hypnotized, and it feels like it's just spinning itself. It's Corriedale in BFL, and it's coming really, really fine. I think I'm gonna end up chain plying it. Yeah. Anyways, I don't have any in progress spins with me because I already had so much. But yeah, there's going to be more finished spins really soon. Yes, so what I'm working on this month, October I was trying to get some socks done. My focus for November is going to be gift knits, or at least knits that are for other people, or, I mean, I say that, but that's not really accurate. I don't know. I picked out some things, and that's what I'm working on now. I do have one knit right now that will be a gift. So let's talk about that one. Actually, yeah. 2 of my knits right now are not for me. So that is accurate. In continuing with trying to finish my sock whips, I have finally started the second sock to my flicker step. So this was a pattern that I had test knit for Things Beth Makes, and that was in June, if I remember correctly. Here's where I am on the second sock. I am nearly done the leg. I think I have 4 rows to go. You can see the stripes are perfectly lined up. Why does that look so narrow? Probably just needs to be blocked. The main color that I'm using is a self-striping yarn from Timber Yarns. She sells these sets in split in 2, so they're a matching set, which is really nice if you do want a matching pair of socks. The contrast is Yarns from Heaven. I think it is called Amethyst. Something Amethyst. I had picked this up at the Romney Wools in Toronto little over a year ago. Yeah. It's really like dark, tonal purple. Made for really nice contrast with all of the colors in this sock. These are a little too small for me, so they're going to be a gift for either, yeah, probably one of my friends who has smaller feet. So I'm looking forward to getting these off to her. And I'm almost halfway there. I tend to be a tighter knitter, so I did go up needle sizes for the color work because it is all over color work. Also, what I like to do is knit inside out so that my floats are having to go around the exterior. And I find that knitting inside out, especially for a sock, I don't tend to get laddering because I knit magic loop. So where I'm switching sides, it stays fairly consistent this way. So that is that one. I didn't bring, I also have a little crochet project for a coworker. It's an amigurumi. It is way out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it. Other project that's not for me is a sample for the frosted stitch, and this will be a Kraken cowl by Mary Hunt. Oh, this is tangled. How are you so tangled? Come on now. Okay. Oh, it's because I have a ridiculously long tail. That's why. Anyways, I've finished. There's kind of a border chart, and then I'm like 3 rows into the actual Kraken chart, so you can't really tell anything from it. But this is using 2 colors from the frosted stitch. This is Maelstrom, and this is Davy Jones's Locker. So both colors that had come from previous pirate boxes but have been kept as permanent colors in the collection. It's a beautiful, like, moody kind of tonal blue. And this, I had designed a pair of socks using this color. Hers is like kind of a nice tonal kind of ish color. It's kind of neutral, but has all these neat little specks in it. I like those little specks of light blue. Yeah. And because I've got 2 projects that are color work, they're not the best to work on when I'm reading or kind of zoning out. So I've brought back into rotation my Attune shawl, which is getting enormous. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is the Attune shawl by Andrew Mowry. I am knitting it using my hand spun. So these are both from the Akara Rose Winter Solstice Fiber Box. We've got, this is the main color, and this is the contrast. We're getting into a really purpley bit of this one. I originally intended on knitting this section, this brioche fisherman's rib section, until I ran out of one of those yarns. It is getting enormous, so I might stop early. I don't know. I'm just having so much fun working this. The second part of this shawl is like a garter border that stripes 2 colors. Originally I was thinking of striping 2 other colors that I made with that batch. I'm still not decided on what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll keep going until I run out of one of them, which would probably be the purpley neutrally one. Oh, this is the back. Here's the front. Okay. So the one that you're mostly seeing here, I think I'm gonna run out of that one first. So maybe I'll do that and then continue the garter with the green and another one. Either way, I'm just loving this knit. It's very meditative. It's very, it's a 4-row repeat that's really easy to read. I don't have to keep checking the pattern for things. And I'm just really enjoying knitting my hand spun. Like, these color changes are so fun. And the texture, it's just so squishy. Other ongoing project is my other scrapbook blanket. I don't remember where I was when I last recorded. There have been some new hexies. Absolutely. It's growing. I know that this is the latest one. I reread Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is probably new. Briefly Perfectly Human. What else is here that I finished? I mean, there's probably something else. I don't know. It's so fun and colorful. And again, I've been working on the ends on the inside. So all of those hanging ends are on the outside. It looks worse than it is. But I've sewn the ends for more than half of the hexies. So it's not too bad. This again is the lockdown blanket. It is a free pattern. I don't remember who the designer is, but I'm just using scrap bits of yarn that somewhat match the book covers of books that I'm finishing. And it's really fun. So those are the things that I'm working on. As my hiatus took a little while, and because there was a fiber festival, I have quite a bit of yarn to show off. Let's start with the Frosted Stitch Expeditions Monthly Club. So I have 3 months worth here. I think I'm doing this in the correct order. The September colorway was Banshee. Okay, this is better. So here's Banshee with a little castle stitch marker. Okay, I love the next two. October was Island of the Dolls. Look at this. Obviously I'm a sucker for different shades of blue and green, and you're gonna see my obsession with blue coming out soon. But Creepy Doll Head stitch marker. I love these pops of like neon-y green. And then the November colorway which might still be available. Might not be by the time I actually edit and post this. But the November colorway was Ghost Ships. I think it's specifically Ghost Ships of the Great Lakes. So we have a ship stitch marker and this lovely shades of blue in this color, kind of turquoisey. I love these like pops of orange. I love it. Definitely looks like stormy seas. Yeah, so these two, absolutely love. Pink. I'm not a big pink person. I love the purples, but I encounter people in my life who like pink, so it is nice to have this in my stash. So that's the club. I also received my yarn from Krista's Mummy collection. Sorry for the crinkle. Okay. So, I don't know what happened to me when I ordered these, but I was definitely having a blue moment. Whew. So I got 3 skeins of He Took My Tongue in sock weight. I have an idea for a garment using this that's going to need a contrast color, probably like in a shade of yellow for really high contrast. Then I got two skeins of Wrong Side of the River. That kind of looks like, okay, this is Island of the Dolls. Okay, there's more. Oh, this one makes such a good fade. But this, my intention is for a Samantha Guerin tank. And still in my blue moment, I got 3 skeins of her special camel base in Underworld. And this is showing up a little bit brighter than it actually is in real life, but oh, that's so pretty. And like the camel, it's a camel silk blend. It's so smooth. My intention is to use this for a, oh, that's a good representation of the color. Okay, yeah, this is what the color looks like. My intention is to make a lacy tank with this, because I think lace is going to be beautiful in this, and it'll be a nice warm weather knit. So that's what I got from the Mummy collection. Clearly feeling the blues. Okay. Then, a few weeks ago, when was that? I think it was October 18th. Krista, mostly Krista, and others organized our own little Sudbury Stitch Fest, and it was an absolute hit. There were a few vendors, Krista, obviously the Frosted Stitch, Full Moon Fibers, Ray from Sticks and Stones, a yarn store in North Bay, and Muster Pattern, who makes all kinds of stitch markers and yarny accessories, basically. I was fairly well behaved. I did get 2 bats that I don't have here. That was from Sticks and Stones. It's actually, they're made by one of Ray's employees. I picked up 2 skeins from Full Moon Fibers. This one I specifically picked out. It's called Lakelands. It's got this bright green and some gray. Really, really fun. And I could not resist. She had mystery yarn, and it was in a skull bag, so like I had to, right? So this is what I got from it. Its name is Dead But Delicious. It's a very nice, like, fall kind of color. Nice and earthy. It would make a very good neutral in something. And I got a little mystery mini set from Krista. I think these are DK weight. And they're not labeled the colors. Some of them might be flakes, but these are mostly colors from the Grunge collection. I think these two might be from Library. But I don't think I have any DK minis, so these will be nice to have. I might use them to make like gnomes. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to bring. I did the Imagine Landscapes gnome knit along in October. It was this really, really cute pumpkin gnome. There were two options for the gnome. One was more like pumpkin-y. One was with a witch twist. I did the witch twist. So I've got the pumpkin body, a little kind of witchy hat, and stripy legs. But that's out still on my cedar chest at home. I still need to take down my Halloween decorations. But yes. That was a really, really fun knit. I had such a great time participating in the mystery knit along. And I really enjoyed making that. I used all the scraps for it. And her explanations and descriptions are excellent. It was so easy to put it all together. Really, really fun. So I would love to put together a little gnome army sometime. But that is pretty much it for Yarny content. The term has been wild. It's been so busy. Yeah, it's been a lot, but it's been good. It has been good. I am definitely looking forward to winter break. I only have one exam in December, and it's an early one, so I am hoping to get a lot of my prep for the winter term done early in December, and to actually take winter break to recover and relax. Because so I went to the Ontario University's fair like I usually do at the end of September, and got very sick after. I had to do some of my lectures on Zoom, and even at that, my voice was, like, I had lost my voice for a little period, and I was lecturing and I sounded like Mickey Mouse. It was ridiculous. And I'm still coughing. That's like 6 weeks later. So whatever this is nasty. Yeah. Since then, I have gotten my flu shot, I've gotten my COVID booster, so hopefully I won't be getting crazy sick again. Because again, that was awful, and I spent all of reading week just recovering from this awful thing and trying to get caught up on work that I missed because I was so sick. And other things, if you're following along on updates on my mom, she had her last radiation treatment on October 31st. It is really nice to not have to go to the hospital every single day. So that's certainly a relief. I don't know when, if we'll get any sort of imaging or updates on how things are going, but she's doing really, really well. The radiation it certainly was nothing compared to the chemo. So yeah, things are looking pretty good in that front, which is a huge relief. I'm not getting that much writing done. Days seem to be very long and I crash when I get home, or at least I zone out and do some knitting or spinning. But I'm currently reading a book by Dr. Lindsay Fitzharris. It is called The Facemaker. I'm really enjoying it. This is my weird medical history stuff, but it is on a Dr. Harold Gillies, who did a lot in terms of plastic surgery and facial reconstruction on soldiers during World War I, and really kind of advanced that field in terms of reconstructing people's faces that were essentially blown off or heavily damaged by shrapnel or what have you. Maybe not necessarily something that everybody would be into, but certainly appeals to my weird and creepy interests. But it is really fascinating, and I like the kind of humanitarian, it's just such a kindness that was done to these poor soldiers who really suffered, not just, with being normal people after the war, but they were being discriminated against. And there's the story of one man whose engagement was called off because of how disfigured he was, and it's certainly something that helped them resume life after the war, and life with some dignity. Yeah. Not much. My classes are busy. I'm about a week behind on my grading. That's not too bad. I don't like to have grading hanging over me. The term's wrapping up. The days are getting shorter. It snowed today and now it's raining, hence this gloom. But yeah, feels kind of nice to update. Please update me on what you're up to, what you're working on, and I'm going to try, hopefully, to be more regular in updating and posting, so I'm not just kind of like, yeah, this is what I remember. Yeah. All right. Bye. Take care.